Hello everyone and welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. We're here on October 3, 1943. Already, pushing into the month of October. I haven't, as of late, we haven't had a lot of back and forth where, we do turns fairly quickly. But the last 3 days, this is through the third day in a row that I'm able to do a turn, and so we're making some headway. It's feeling a bit more fast paced than when I'm doing 2 or 3 a week. But sometimes things interrupt your ability to squeeze in a turn, and it goes for both of us. This would be a nice task force to hit. Alright, looks like 2 torpedoes. Okay. I don't know what's on those shit. There it goes. What is that task force doing there west of Port Blair? Alright. So more Chinese versus Japanese fighter dogfighting. There goes the Tojo. Wonder what his status is on pilots. Be interesting to know how many pilots he's lost. One time I mentioned pilot losses, and he just kind of indicated he hasn't really looked. I mean, that's fine. I don't think you have to be staring at your pilot losses, but I would think that would be kind of an interesting statistic. But I think what's more important than just how many pilots have you lost is how many pilots are available, how many pilots are training. Obviously, those are more important statistics. But I personally would be curious to know how depleted he is. At least how depleted he is with good quality pilots. Sion's taking a beating. Alright, so my dive bombers, I'm letting them rest. And my heavy bombers up there in Burma, I'm letting them rest. And so our medium bombers are doing some work, but I just figure I don't have to have 100% air activity going on over those troops in Burma, those Japanese troops in Burma. All right, he sweeps us from the sky at great loss. Hmm. Yeah, what is that task force doing west of Port Blair? I'm shuffling, well, yeah, I think I talked about this already, but I'm shuffling some guys in China as I feel like it's important to shore up the certain key areas, especially as he wraps up the campaign here in this hex. Pardon me. I feel like I need a few more reserves in Xi'an and also on the front lines there in East China. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was here, and I almost bombed it, but this is weak, so this is okay. We can destroy this. We've got 200 assault value in armor here, as well as tank brigade here. I almost did shock attack, but a deliberate attack I felt like was effective enough. And he withdrew to Chiang Mai. So that means they're trapped here, and like I was saying before, supply should be an issue now for this area here, and it looks like it is. And we're just going to march down this railroad and kind of leave a token force back here to hold the rear as we push down. I think that should work. We did destroy one of his tanks, um, and maybe we'll leave like couple of Chindit, maybe all three Chindit brigades here, and push on with the rest of these. Um, Maybe some artillery as well. But I'll think about all that later. But maybe this East African brigade, basically the brigades except for the tanks, and then push on down into this area. Um, and these should he should be trying to get out of here, but it's going to be up in this rough terrain, and it'll be hard to get out of there. Okay, so I think that was a decent day. I've had some doozies lately, mostly due to, strategic errors on my part, but um, I think that one was decent, and hopefully, we can domino some of these good turns together and go from there. Yeah, we're upgrading some carriers and some other miscellaneous ships here in Pearl Harbor. Okay, we're back here on October 4, 1943. Hmm. Come on, Kaplan. You gotta sink these. Man, just terrible night mission for our subs. Heavy rain. Okay, good. It basically our anti-aircraft don't do a good job, but it is night. So and then his aircraft don't hit anything. I kind of can see why he would push that hard. Of course, I probably would be a bit more aggressive with perhaps more bombers. Because if you're really trying to shut down the fighters, you're gonna want to have the daytime fighters. You're gonna want to have a lot of night bombing because it's not very accurate. So while I'm very disappointed in our subs today, it is what it is, and we'll have more chances tomorrow. This may devastate us, especially since he has 24. It's not piecemeal, so we'll probably bring in the American fighters next. But let's push on, see if we can shoot some of these down. All right, he gets 6 through, but at what cost, right? Yeah, we have a pocket going there at Chiang Mai. I think that's gonna be nice. And ideally, we don't shoot. We don't. Ideally, ideally we don't crush it or take it out because then it sends all those. Whoa. Okay, he's gonna for sure clear the skies. All right, time for the Americans. But where was I? So we don't want to. Okay, finally getting some flak destruction here. We don't want to crush this pocket at Chiang Mai just yet because all those troops will be reviable and he'll likely buy them back and they'll be there in Japan for him to rebuild. All right, we got a lot going on here. I mean, it's not really a lot. It's just we'll talk about it when it's over here. do something soon, and we will. We're gonna push down to Mole Mine, and after that we can set up aggressive bombings of the Japanese there at Port Blair, so that we can yeah, we can get in there and all right. Pegu port size 2. That'll be good for getting supplies into there. Okay, pardon me. It's been a while since we've looked at the operational report, I believe. So let's take a look at it now. And you can see what basically our carriers and some surface task forces got back to Pearl and are repairing and refitting. So we're going to be having some of these reports a lot in the near future. We also have a sub ready to go back out to action to patrol. And we have these Chinese fighter pilots getting better and better. But we also have, okay, a missing or a shot down recon, including losing the pilot. I mean, some of these things are not ideal. A crashed F6F. Yeah, crash. Oh boy. Yeah, see all these repairs. We'll throw them into the respective task forces and keep repairing. All right. And then the I-26, yeah, you can't trust any of these sub-sinkings. And then some destroyers. Okay, that's about it. All right, we lost a lot of aircraft. 20. And he lost 12. So, not a great day. But he did lose a lot of Tojos, and we're going to lose a lot of these Chinese aircraft. And we already know some of these as well. Ops losses and things. Okay. Not bad on the pilots, though, for 20 aircraft lost. We wouldn't have sunk any ships, and he didn't either. And you can see the information there. Okay, I will try to be brief. I'm working on getting these tanks. 15. Okay. I think we moved 6 hexes. So if we move 6 more, that'll be 9, and that'll be 2 more days. So from here, it's about 3 days, I'm gonna say, roughly. I think that's crazy because this thing moves so slow. I'm surprised it moved 6, but I think it did. I think it was 21 hexes away. Yeah, I think it moved 6 because I think it was somewhere in here, but I could be mistaken. Maybe it was here. But still, I'm pretty sure it said 21 here. And so that's 3 days. Our battleships will take 3 also, I believe, to get in here and bombard. And 15, and they're gonna move about 6 a day. So that's so it'll take the same amount of time as this little group here. We'll unload and then we'll assault. So basically, in 3 days, we'll pull the trigger on that. Sarmi, we're unloading something here. Okay, just got to get some supplies off as well. And make sure some of these, if I'm not paying attention, we don't get to take advantage of the engineers here. Um, all right, I'm looking here. All right, so he's hanging out right outside of our little hex here. That's okay. But I thought I had some ASW going here, but not really. Hmm. If these guys, you know what? they have enough range. Okay. Yeah, we'll fly out and check this out. I think, yeah, we probably won't reach these guys over here though. All right, we are marching to Makassar. Um, we'll be there in probably 2 to maybe 3 days. And our tanks should be starting. Yeah, we're unpacked, ready to go. I need to turn off the. All right. I'll have to peel these armor. You know what? I'm gonna leave it there for another day. See if we can fully unload the armor. What? No, 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 no. You misunderstood me. So I told it to stop unloading because I wanted to bring it around and unload directly at Makassar. But when I told it to stop unloading, it thought it was time to go home, and it wasn't. That's on me. I should have clicked remain on station and all the things, but it's fine. We'll just go right back, park here until we take this, then we'll bring it down and finish unloading. We have engineers coming. because I would like to get some aircraft flying over there ASAP. And these aircraft, aviation support, should allow me with this size of base as it is now, 3, we should be able to have some decent fighter cover almost immediately. And whatever he's got here, we can start reconning and then bombing. Nothing will be safe in this vicinity in before too long. We'll have it all locked down. But yeah, so that's short order here. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he keeps like patrolling out here. I wonder if he's looking for something to fight. Um, be my guest, I guess. Uh, let's say direct coastal. And we'll just go ahead and tell this the same thing. Direct coastal. And our cruisers are set to a range of 6, so if he starts coming in here, we should chase him down and have a nice shootout. Maybe I should drop this to 3. Because I don't really want. I'm afraid if he has battleships, well, yeah. Here's the thing: if he has battleships, I won't. He won't have to come in here and harass me if we chase him out here. But then we could lose some of our cruisers, so I'd rather not. What I was saying is this pocket here, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to get out of this. We're leaving some troops here. All these guys in combat formation or combat op mode will stay here and hold the line. And it won't be a huge army, but he's got supply issues. And then we've got some Chindit brigades coming in behind him, as well as some units that are back here along the river, waiting for him to pull out, and then we can take those spots and keep squeezing him. Um, he looks like he's at least withdrawing something here, probably not the whole stack. Um, but it's still strong enough that it's probably 1-to-1, and 1-to-1 is way more favorable for him because it's ×2 terrain, and it's very likely he has um, some decent forts. We do not. Well, and forts don't help the attacker anyway. So we're just gonna bide our time. We have 3,000 assault value. We've got another 600 AV coming, and then of course this engineer corps or battalion. Basically, those are combat engineers. But what I was saying is we're okay here for now. Keyword okay. I'm trying to keep getting supplies in here in the best way possible, which is by air and by sub. And then what I'll do is I'll keep doing that, and as soon as I can, I'll attempt another uh, mission to get some supplies in there. If he wants to keep sortying, he's using precious fuel, and my hope in the rest of these, the one that are in move mode, I'm disregarding Chiang Mai for now. We're going to come down here, take this base, and perhaps take this base, and then one of these two, and maybe both, and that'll secure our taking this base will secure our flank to the south, and then we'll link up here at Mole Mine. Now we don't have a lot here, 50,000, so we can't take on this huge force. But if he pulls out of here to chase us down, will assault. And I mean, really, it's 1-to-1 odds against this corps. I'm gonna call it a corps. It's about the size of an army corps. But if we can secure the center here of Thailand, um, I may push down to Bangkok, but it looks like that's pretty strong as well. So we would end up in some kind of a stalemate here. So I'd really rather put pressure on this position here and force him to pull out of there. I'd rather do that than to push on Bangkok, and then we have stalemate in both areas. And I think stalemate in both areas benefits him more than us, at least right now, because we're going to have supply issues and he could come in behind us with some of these elements and cause major disruption in our operations. So that's the other thing. I don't want to spread thin. So if we stay close into here, we can put pressure on him without running too much risk. And so if I can position my troops maybe to the coast here, that'll cut this major road. I think really if I just if I get in, actually he might be having supply issues already. He's got to bring supplies all the way up this dirt road, which is very costly to get supplies up here. The railroad just only goes to Bangkok, and he has a major road up the coast. And I guess he could drop supplies there at Murgui and have it go up this major road. That would probably be the best way to get supplies here. But then he also runs the risk of having me sink some of his cargo ships. The cargo ships would have to go a lot further all the way around this um, peninsula. But if he can drop stuff at Bangkok, it can go up this road. But again, it's not the most ideal way to get supplies up here. And then if I position myself, even with a small unit right here, we can, and a unit here, we can basically cut everything up here is cut off because we'll have the railroad here with these two bases, three bases. We'll have this secured. No supplies will come up this railroad. Of course, it can off-road, but he has a lot of troops here. And to supply a lot of troops with really poor terrain is just not ideal. It's going to be very costly in supplies to get supplied. Anyway, so he's holding Chiang Mai. It's a river here, so crossing would be a shock attack into what's likely an extremely fortified position. So we're just going to move on, secure all this, and once we get it fully pocketed, we can tighten the noose and take it all out. But this may be a very, very, very long operation simply because of the terrain and the number of troops we have to push out of our way to make it happen. And yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting, that's for sure. So, yeah, getting more troops here. And what I might do is we're resting with this unit, and that's okay. I'll probably let it rest a little bit longer and recover some of these disabled squads, and then we'll push on because I need all the help I can get in this push here in the center because I did want to mention this. We do have 50,000 troops here, but approximately half are staying behind. Not really. We're taking about 2/3 with us to make this push in the center. Of course, that means only like 15,000, give or take, are stuck here holding against 25. But we will be in a position, I believe. See all these ones that say that have a number, 0 or a 1? Those are the static ones. And this one already has a fort. I think we'll be okay. And again, he has supply issues. So if he wants to push out, he's going to have a malice for that. And the river, and we have Jungle Rough. That's times 3. Yeah, we're not. He's not going to push us out of here. Of course, we won't push him out, but it's the same. But that's fine. It's going to be an epic siege that's going to probably benefit us more than him. And because it's times 3, I can get in here with, let's say, 10,000 troops. I can get in here and just park and build up fortifications, and he won't eject us either. But the way I'm going to do that is get in here and then bring this division over and bring this division over. And eventually, these elements will converge on Chiang Mai, where none of them have to cross a river, and then we can park here and besiege it, basically. Um, and it'll be from 3 hex sides, not the river hex sides, in which case he can escape one of these 3, but so it's not technically a siege, but there again, he's not getting supplies up the railroad anymore. All right, moving on. China is interesting. I'm trying to, one of these cores, um, he keeps bombarding me, so we're flipping to combat mode, but that's okay. We'll just flip again. I'm just trying to move here east, then we'll move down the road. I wanna reinforce this position a little bit. I'm remembering, yeah, this they got wrecked, so we're gonna try to get out of here, back to Pegu, rest and rebuild, because this is in very very bad condition. Um, we'll, we'll be fine, but I'm gonna have to rest it for sure. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. We have 49 total aircraft, only 21 are ready. I'm gonna bring these guys, I want to say, in. We are only at 49 air defense. What am I? Okay. Let's look. This is 50 average. Um, also 50. So what we'll do is we'll get these into the theater parked here for now, Tuyun, and bring these guys right up to the front, and we'll like get pull some of these out that are just fully depleted. Yeah. So this is not ideal. Yeah, this is not ideal situation to be in because China just doesn't get a lot of airframes. I am considering though getting some P40N5s into the theater because that'll allow us to rotate better. When we have to pull the N1s out to upgrade, the N5s will be already there. So I might do that. But I'll do that. I'll process it in my head and think about it and pull the trigger, but it'll be after the recording. Um, because I wanna keep this clean from damage. And I think now that he has swept the sky, he's gonna feel a bit confident, and he's going to bring in bombers, I think, for a daytime raid. So I'm going to need these P-40s in here um, to kind of counter that. Now, I could be wrong. It could be he's just going to try one more days of sweep and bring in like 50 fighters and we'll hash it out. But the other reason I want to bring fighters here and duke it out is because we have basically nothing to do here. And we're just sweeping every day for no effect. And this is where all of his air power seems to be at this juncture. So there's no point in having overstacked fighters in this area and zero here. And that makes me think maybe I should push some British fighters over there as well. Some of these guys that have been resting, for example, because 20, how far can they get? So we could get to Chungking. Um, we could get to Tuyun and park here, and then tomorrow get to Changsha. And I'll probably do that with some American fighters as well, and we'll strengthen the position here and push back, shoot down some more of his fighters, and well, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm gonna cut out here, but you can see that it's more or less static. He's got this line here, and I don't see it changing. I will say that I'm also pulling some troops from this X, which it looks like they're already done moving, into Sion, because what makes me concerned is that see, now we have 4,000 assault strength. What made me concerned is he takes this out and he's got divisions here and divisions here, and he makes a concerted effort and he pushes on this and smashes us because this is clear. He's already been bombing us. We have almost zero supply. So I was concerned he was going to push across here and maybe initially take some damage, but then it would just be a matter of time after that. So I just wanted to reinforce it, which we have, and now it's just a matter of time before these guys fold. And um, and the reason I'm not pulling them out is all these forts are helping us actually hold the position, and I expect them to collapse, but any day. I don't even know how this guy is still alive, but why not? Let's just do replacements here too. I don't expect us to actually anything to happen with those replacements. I just figure for every one squad, he's got to work that much harder to push us out. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm gonna head out and we'll be back and to talk about October 5 next. Take care, everyone. Bye.